All right, today on Real Talk with Zeb, I have a very special guest, alumni from Dunbar Senior High School, class of '84, currently the head coach of Dunbar Senior High School in Washington, D.C., Coach Maurice Vaughn. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Zeb. Man, thanks for having me on, man.
For those that don't know, how long have you been involved with coaching football?
Um, since 2004, I was asked to come be a part of the Beacon House Youth Pop Warner organization. And, initially I didn't think I wanted to do it. And after thinking about it for maybe 4 or 5 days, I decided to go up to Beacon House and, just explore it and changed my life, man. It was the best move I ever made. It reconnected me to my passion and put me on a path that I think, that God, had designated for me.
During that time, you won 2 national championships?
Yeah, at Beacon House, yep. And it was a real good run, man, a heck of a run. Was able to help, a lot of kids navigate from youth football to high school and just give them that work ethic that it takes because, I believe that's what, the transition, man. You got to know the work that it's going to take, moving from one transitioning from one level to the next. And, even high school to college, it's all about your work ethic.
That transition that you're talking about from the Pop Warner level to high school, how did that all come about?
Coach Mark Martin at Wilson, he was always a defensive coordinator at Wilson. And me and Mark, we go all the way back, childhood, 10 years old. And we just like family. His first kid and my son, mom, is sisters. So his daughter is 33. My oldest son is 33. And I have a 25-year-old son by the sister of his daughters. And so we always been tight. And, Mark asked me to come join the staff at Wilson. And when I got there, I mean, it was, I was ready for the move. I did a lot of youth football. I became more trying to mentor some of the younger coaches at the youth level and get them to understand, the commitment and the work that it takes to be successful. So, I plunged, I dived into this new challenge and, we had a lot of good times at Wilson, a lot of good memories. We just couldn't get over that hump, man. We lost 3 championships to H.D. Woodson, 3 Turkey Bowls. And, I mean, one year we was 10-1 and the #1 seed, and we ended up losing convincingly to them. So, that's was the start of this high school journey for me.
Speaking on that, when did the desire to get back to your alma mater, Dunbar, when did that road come about?
Dunbar always had a special place in my heart. I was maybe you would call it a booster when Coach Craig Jeffries was there and Coach Nunn. I would support the team and the program monetarily and things like that, any chance I get. Coach Jeffries' first year coaching high school, when he came back from college from Cheney State, was my senior year. He came to Dunbar. He was our defensive coordinator. So I built a relationship with him my senior year, and we remained tight ever since. So, I always admired, what how he built the Dunbar program up. And me and a lot of other Dunbar alums was proud of the way that the football program was being portrayed and what they was doing and getting kids in school and all that was just awesome. And actually Coach Jeffries, when I was coaching youth football, he got Daryl Tillman, at the time was the head coach at Roosevelt, to try to bring me on Roosevelt's staff from Beacon House. And it wasn't the same feeling going up to Roosevelt as it would have been at Dunbar. But Coach Jeffries, he had a full staff, so he really didn't have any room for me. And then, I don't think he understood how passionate, I was once I got into coaching. So, he still is one of my mentors and I called on them and for advice and stuff like that. So Dunbar always been a big part of my heart. But when I played against them, I was trying to kick their butts at Wilson, and I love the fact that the first time we played Dunbar when I was at Wilson, Wilson hadn't beaten Dunbar since 1996, and we won that game. And I never lost a game to Dunbar. I think we beat them like 7 times or 8 times while I was at Wilson, and alumni used to always mess with me like, man, why you up there? You got to come back home. But, and I wanted to come back home, but it had to be the right situation. And not saying that I had to be the head coach, but it had to be the right time and the right situation.
Talk about your first year coaching at Dunbar. What was that like for you?
Oh, man, the first year was, a lot of frustrating moments, man. A lot of down moments. A lot of times, I questioned, did I make the right move? And for the first time in my coaching career, I had a team where I didn't have a lot of players, the numbers wise. At Beacon House, I always had a lot of kids, and I ain't talking about talented kids that just want to play football. At Wilson, we had a lot of kids. One year we had 53 on the varsity and 55 on the JV, and so we always had kids. But when I got to Dunbar, my first meeting, I had like 23 kids, and a lot of them wasn't football kids. And, we had 17 the first year that was there before. And we had 7 freshman kids make up the varsity team, 7 plus 17. It was 24 kids on the varsity. And all the other kids we recruited, we kept on the junior varsity, and that was by design. I didn't want those kids to get beat up and get they start questioning themselves, and their morale about football, just tore down. So we kept them on the junior varsity. They had a real good junior varsity year, and the school was excited because they did see the promise was the junior varsity. The varsity kids, good kids, but by the time they were seniors, they just didn't understand the work ethic that it took, and the discipline that it took, and the commitment,
in one of your interviews, I heard you talking about recruiting
right
early, like
right.
Before they even get to Dunbar. How important was that to you to find the right players that would fit your program and the mentality that you were looking for?
I mean, that was everything. That was what got us where we are today. Is our tenacity to go out and recruit players, and not just recruit them. We have a board, man, like we was a college of kids in middle school and the youth programs that we feel can help our program and help it fast. And we grade the players, and they're youth players, and it's crazy because we sit around and we really put a lot of time into, who can help our program. And it's not just athletically, it's character and stuff like that, that we looking for that, can help, get our program to where we wanted it to be. And we still not there, but that first class that we recruited had a lot to do with where we are today, and the next class after that also.
A lot of talented schools in the area. How hard was it during that time to compete, like with the Mathers, when you're going for recruiting players and
right.
getting
right.
certain players that you really want, and have to compete with schools like that?
Right. It's very hard to compete with the Mathers, St. John's, and schools like that, Gonzaga, even Friendship. H.D. Woodson at the time. It was hard for us to recruit against them. The thing that I had working for us was I brought in a dynamic guy who knew everybody at the youth level. His name is Stephon Marshall. He was at the Bengals youth organization. I brought in Buddy Gaskins from Watkins. And I know these guys had relationships with the youth sports, and they knew a lot of people at the youth level. So, they were my get in, because when I went to Wilson, that's what helped transition Wilson. Wilson hadn't been to a championship in 21 years, but when I left and came from Beacon House, we had kids that followed me. So with those kids came right in and started and made a big difference. So I never forgot that I brought a lot of kids up there, but I had been coaching high school for a long time now, like 5 years. So I had been away from the youth football scene. So some of the new parents, they really didn't know me. They might have heard of me but they didn't know me. So I brought in guys that really knew them, and they could bring them to the table where I could talk to them and try to sell our program. And at the time I had Sean Savoy, who was starting as a true freshman at Virginia Tech. I had Stevie Williams Jr., who was starting as a true freshman at Old Dominion. And I had Abdul Adams. He was at Oklahoma at the time. He's starting running back at Syracuse right now. So I had these guys playing in college. Caleb Coleman was at Liberty. And I was just, I really was just talking about the kids that I had a chance to develop and had since the 9th grade. And, that's all I can do was just sell myself on, me and the program, on my vision and the things I've done at Wilson. So, we missed out on a lot of kids, but we had kids that believed in us. And then from us, the way that we recruited and had our board, we had kids that was under the radar. We had kids like Daquan Harvin, who we knew that was an awesome athlete that a lot of people didn't know about. So these were kids that we was targeting because they didn't play on these high profile youth teams, and they slid under the radar on a lot of teams. So that's another thing that our recruiting tactics, we find some diamonds in the rough.
I was going to ask about that because, one of the things you hear, like with Coach Belichick and New England Patriots, is having a smart football player. And a lot of athletes on Dunbar are honor roll students.
Right.
And so how important is that to have a smart athlete?
That's very important. And that's what, I'm very big on football IQ. And when I talk to college recruiters, that's important to them. Now, if you're just a freak and you athletic and you big and you super fast, they're gonna give you an opportunity. But when it comes to quarterbacks and safeties and stuff, you gotta be smart. You gotta be able to know the system, and you gotta be able to think fast and make decisions. That's what football is all about now. Defensively and offensively, because the spread offenses now made defenses change what they do. So now defenses, if you're in cover 3, you're not just reading on this wide receiver. You're reading him, and you're reading the number 2 receiver. So you got to be able to think, and you got to be able to think fast. And we run complicated systems on offense and defense, and we make a lot of mistakes. But they know it well enough that we can get explosive plays because that's how it's designed. If you're thinking, and we can play faster than the next team because we're thinking and we know our system.
Speed is important also.
Yes.
You got a lot of track athletes man.
So when we was on board, we always was talking about athleticism and stuff like that. So a lot of that, we knew what these kids could do and how fast they was and how athletic they was before they came. A lot of them was undersized. So, we had to wait, and we still a small team, but we had a lot of undersized kids coming in, and that was one of the reasons why a lot of them didn't get highly recruited from some of the private schools.
How important is it to have the backing of administration?
Man, that's again, that's so huge. I can't emphasize how big and important it is because we got one of the best principals, man. Principal Nadine Smith she's awesome, and she support these young men. She support the whole school, but right now, just speaking on the football team, she support them. Not just athletically, but she support them in the building. And anything I ask for, to help these kids in the building and academically, she, whether it's tutors or anything, she makes sure she provides that for us.
All right, we're back. So we were talking about the comparison of the old Dunbar compared to what we see now with the new Dunbar.
First of all, I went to Shaw Junior High School, and it was open classes. And, Dunbar, when I went to Dunbar, it was open classrooms also. But, I do like, closed classrooms better. I think it's going to be better for us to, for the kids to concentrate. I don't think it's as much of a distraction as it was in the old Dunbar. But again, I got a lot of good memories, a lot of great memories of the old school. But I love the new school. You know, I love how when we walk people through the school, I just love the design of the schools, of the new school. They have, you know, a few flaws, like in the stadium. We have to walk all the way around the side, and our storage room is right in between, like right in the middle. So we have to leave and we have to walk all the way around the edges instead of having the entrance right on the field. I think that was a big flaw because it takes so much time and wasted time for us to get our equipment on and off the field. So, you know, but the inside of the building, I mean, I love it. I love the design of the building. You know?
Now, talk about your first experience in the playoffs with Dunbar.
As a player or as a coach?
As a coach.
As a coach, you know, this year was our first year making the playoffs. So third year, we made the playoffs, and you know, we was the favorite going into that game. But you know, I approach every game nervous, you know, because I know our kids have to come and perform. There's no given that we're going to win any games. So, you know, I was nervous but confident because, you know, I'm always confident in our preparation. And I felt like we had a good week of preparation. We had a good week of scouting Roosevelt as a team. We came in the game, it was windy. Quarterback was a little off on the little things, you know, and he had a tremendous season, but that game he was a little off, threw a couple of interceptions the first half that, I mean, really like just crazy interceptions. So we slowed the game down and said we were going to control the game because our defense was really, you know, playing, you know, shutout football. And a lot of people, man, really don't give out, well, I ain't going to say they don't give them the credit, but they get caught up in the points that the offense scores some games, and they think we are offensive, you know, first team. But for real, our defense, man, is the backbone of our team. And I'm very proud of the way they played. We're aggressive. And then that's what I told Coach Minot when I hired him as the coordinator. You know, I wanted us to be aggressive. We want to attack from both sides of the football and special teams. So, you know, that's my attitude is attacking and always being aggressive, being a hammer, not the nail.
You know, I got to talk about, you know, a difficult time for Dunbar during that time. Going into the 2019 season, you lost one of your athletes. Mm-hmm. How tough was that for the team going into that season?
Oh, man. That was, you know, it was crazy. I mean, I didn't know how we were going to get through it. Our Keyman was the heart of the team. Everybody loved this young man. And, it still is surreal to me because, you know, I got the news. I was in Cancun, Mexico, the day before I was returning, and I got a call from my quarterback, Monte Dre's mom, and she wanted to know what was going on because he's hysterical, and all he keeps saying is one of his teammates had gotten killed. So I didn't know what was going on. So I called Coach Minot, and he told me, he said, I wasn't going to bother you. I know you're coming home tomorrow, and, you know, I was going to wait till you got home. But like, that was a real tough time for us all. And, you know, the thing about that is, you know, his spirit stayed with us and it remained with us today. But we played for him, and it really brought our team together more. It made the kids play together, and it gave us a purpose, man. It gave us a big purpose, and everything we did, it was for 26. It was for our key, and the kids embraced it. And you know, I mean, it ain't a lot I can say about it, man. But it just, you know, cause it get me kind of emotional when I talk about him. And you know, it just was a heck of a loss for his family, for his football family, and it just was a life just taken too soon, and not knowing why, and really, you know, really believing, and even the police believed that it was just him being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It really eat me up inside, you know. He had so much living to do.
You know, just thinking about that, going back to your time in high school when coming out in '84 during that time when DC was pretty much like the murder capital during that time. Did you lose any?
Well, we actually became the murder capital like in '88 or something.
Yeah, I was the
'84
Dunbar
when I came. Yeah, when I came out, and that's the thing. When I came out, people get killed every now and then, but in the go-go, there was more people getting jumped, people getting hit with a bat or something like that. So the violence started spiking maybe in '87 and went up. So when I was in high school, we never really had the death part to deal with. So this was something different to me. For them to have to deal with that, it was something different than when I was in school and we was in school. I know you might have had a different.
I came along from the '86 to '90 when the crack epidemic really hit.
See, I came out right when, it was still both PCP was still the thing then, and it wasn't a lot of violence. But when the crack started taking over, that's when a lot of the murders and stuff started really happening.
I got to ask, what was the feeling like to win the Turkey Bowl?
Man, it was an awesome feeling, man, because, a lot of emotions, run through you, man, when that's happening. You think about our key. You think about all the kids and all the recruitment since day one with teams, like teams, they tried to make it hard for us to recruit. Like, Dunbar, they ain't gonna be good. They gonna be this. And we was bad the first year. So I used to point out, like, Belichick was 2-8 his first year ever the head coach. Coach Jeffries was 2-8 out Oxon Hill his first year. So, you give up stats, but for real, people don't hear you. They don't hear you, man. All they know is you sorry, so you think about all that. You think about where you came from to get to where we are. And, the feeling was great. I think about the commitment, man, I got from my coaches. And I know, like people be congratulating me. And I always tell my coaches, man, this is about all of us. This ain't about just me, because this could have never happened with just one person. I preach team. We just had something, and that's all. I'm going to wait for that. But, I preach team, and, just like I got to say it before I forget it, but, they asked me to pick superlatives for the team, most valuable player and all that. And it's hard for me to do that, and I'm sincere when I say that, because, I preach being selfless, doing something bigger than yourself, or, so that's for other people to pick our most valuable player. I can't do that. It's all of us are one. So, to really win that championship with the confidence that a lot of the alumni had in me. I got, Vince Gray reached out for me to call him when I was still at Wilson, and he was the one that pushed me over the edge and said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Ex-mayor. Never had a conversation with him. I knew he was a Dunbar alum. I seen him at a whole bunch of football events and stuff like that, but he didn't know me. But he thought I was the right person for the job to resurrect the program. So, to do it when a lot of people believed in me, it really was emotional and overwhelming, and, I'm proud, man. I'm proud. I've always been a proud Dunbar guy. But I'm proud of the work that the kids put in. I'm proud of the work that my coaches put in. And I always go back to that because, that's what it's all about. Coaches, they respect me so much and they love me so much and they listen to what I do, because I include, like, when we make decisions, it ain't just my decision. They know ultimately I'm going to have the final decision. But, everybody got ownership in this. When we say all in, I need everybody all in. And these guys, they committed to the Dunbar program, and they committed to my leadership. So, I really respect that. I respect them because they meant, they ain't followers. I got a bunch of men that will follow, my lead, and that's awesome, man.
How important is it for old football alum to come back to support the program, like, for example, like a Vernon Davis?
Since I came, we had our mantra was rebuild, restore, and revive. That's what like from day one, we ain't building nothing new. This with Coach Jeffries and Coach Nunn and Coach Banner. You know, those are the three coaches that preceded me at Dunbar. This is a program that they established. So, you know, and since day one, I want it to be alum friendly. Whenever the alum come back up to the school, man, I treat them with royalty. I don't care if it's a guy that played, that didn't make All-Met, or if it's an All-Met guy, because if you played at Dunbar, you part of the history and the family of this. And this is what we do this for. Like on our rings, I don't know if you've seen it, we got 11 on the rings because we only won one of those. But this is a carryover of the legacy of Dunbar football. And that's, you know, like that's what we represent. We got the new jackets, and I show it to you for the jacket. And they got all the championships on the jacket, all the years. And you know, that's important to me that we celebrate the whole history of the Dunbar football family. You know, it's important to me that they know the history of Dunbar, the kids and the coaches. You know, the first African American high school, you know, in the United States. I mean, that's big, man.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. You know, especially in this day and time with everything going on and people becoming, more conscious of self, you know.
Do you ever get a chance to play or have you had a chance to play the Dunbar up in Baltimore?
I haven't, but we, you know, I got like coaches on that staff are friends of mine from the youth level, right? And we want to establish that, and that'll be something good for both kids. We do it in basketball already, so you know, to establish that in football, you know, would be real cool, you know.
Now, with the COVID-19 hitting hard, how did that slow down the process of what you had going on with your program?
It slowed it down a lot. So, you know, again, we didn't want to be one of those teams that's taking a lot of chances because at the end of the day, the first priority is the safety of our young men. So, you know, we did a lot of Zoom stuff and mental stuff with football, but then it got kind of like, you know, burnt out off of that. You know, you keep talking football to the kids and they don't even know if it's going to be football. I just got a text from a kid yesterday, one of my wide receivers, you know, is it going to be, you know, is the season canceled or are we going to play? So a lot of them worried about that. And I don't have the answers. That's why I was telling you that, you know, today we have a head coaches meeting online. And I'm sure it still won't find out too much about the season because it's a lot of unanswered questions and people don't know what, you know, really what to do and what they're going to do yet. So, you know, it slowed it down, but it's okay because it slowed it down for everybody.
Does that worry you during this time with idle time, idle minds with your kids out there right now?
That's the biggest thing I worry about. You know, like, again, we're a family. And when I preach family to these kids, man, like that's important to me. So we got 47 kids in the football family, and then we got more because now we communicate with the incoming ninth graders. So we got maybe 60-something kids that we talking to and we communicate with. And, you know, I worry about, you know, some of my players because they live in high-risk areas, like in you know, areas with violence at. And you know, I've talked to a couple of parents and the kids are hanging out because they, you know, tired of being in the house or they don't want to be the moms go to work. They hanging out in the neighborhood. But these usually times when we working out. Like right now, we in the 7-on-7. So every day we together. So we really, just like what I used to say of youth football. If I could occupy 4 hours of a kid's day, that's 4 hours he's not doing the wrong stuff. And then we got things that we do when they go home. And sometimes we work out so hard. Coach Spivey, you know, he busts their butt, you know, in the weight room, on the field. So, you know, they be so tired sometimes. They go home and we don't have to worry about them as much, you know, being around the wrong people and doing the wrong things.
You know, before we wrap it up, you know, you recently got the Pigskin Coaches Award. What was that experience like to be there?
It was an awesome experience. I mean, I was real disappointed because I didn't think they were gonna call me up to ask me to speak, and I really wasn't ready to speak because, you know, before then, I'm really like a guy that just go about my business and want to work, and I really want to be judged from the work and not from you know, from just talking. You know, as a head coach, I've had to learn to speak a little more and talk in front of people a little more. Not that I don't like talking, but it's like so many people talk, and they talk about stuff that they don't do. And I just want to, like my work, it's like when we talking about how did I get to high school, I never had to, you know, like people always ask me, and I tell coaches that now, if you really got a desire to do something, pay attention to the details of what you're doing and do it well, and people will notice. And people will come and try to, you know, to get you to do something else. My D coordinator right now, you know, he's one of the hottest D coordinators in the city. And I know I tell him all the time, because when he came to me, he said one day he wanted to be a head coach. And he's on his way. But it's about he's not going looking for jobs. He's just working his butt off. And the jobs can really start coming looking for him. And I'm going to be happy as I don't know what for him. And that's what it's about, man. It's about working. So, you know, those awards are good. Don't get me wrong, like the All-Met Coach of the Year thing that I got. I mean, it was an honor, because when I look at it, you know, Coach Jeffries is the only other DCIAA coach I know since 1990 that didn't won it. So that's what, 30 years. And it's only been 2 Dunbar coaches. I'm proud of that. So, yeah. But do I do it for the individual accolades? You know, my kids and my coaches know I can care less about that. You know, I would rather my kids get it, you know, those praises than me. You know, so, you know, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful that they're thinking about Dunbar football, and that, you know, that people just like yourself. I told you when you came in, man, I appreciate anytime somebody want to take their time, man, to talk about, you know, what we doing at Dunbar football, especially where we were 3 years ago. Like it meant a lot to me, because we do work, and we work our butt off, man, trying to get these kids opportunities and to get them right, so we can be respected as a quality football program.
And man, I really appreciate your time on Real Talk with Zeb. Get to sit down with another alum from one of the greatest schools in the world, Dunbar Senior High School. Any last words to alumni out there?
Man, you know, roll tide, and you know, like we gonna continue to make you guys proud, man. You know, like this is about, you know, Dunbar legacy, and you know, we want to always represent Dunbar in a positive light, in the way that, you know, represent you guys. So, you know, that's what I would say to any alumni, man.
Hey, here's a trophy right here. Zoom in on that right there. Look at it, man. That Turkey Bowl trophy right there.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, man, once again,
it's a high school thing for Vernon Davis from the Super Bowl. The NFL gave this right here. This you know, with see the Duke, got Vernon Davis and stuff on here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like you know, I got some stuff, man, that keep me, you know, really proud, man, of what we doing at Dunbar, and, you know, like some good times, man. You know, I even got my papa wanted my first national championship team and the regional championship, you know, the big trophies at Beacon House. But, you know, memories, man.
Yeah, a lot of memories on the wall here.
I got a little bit Wilson memories over there.
You got the Wilson memories over there too.
Yeah, I got a few. You know, but no, it's, you know, I'm thankful, man, that you stopped through, and you keep doing what you're doing, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
can't wait to see you. Hopefully they got a season, man. I'll definitely be out there, man.
Thanks, Zeb.
All right.
You know, I appreciate you, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. We out. Man, look at this jacket here.
Got the championships on it.
Oh, it actually has the years.
Yep,
like
the
if you
years,
zoom in
yep.
on it, you can actually see the
See
year.
the years we won championships, man. This the 19 right here, but we got all the championships that the teams got, and you know, we got this year's, you know, stuff. We got, you know, did a little different. Got the whole, instead of just the varsity D, we put the, you know, the whole logo D on.
Yeah, I just got the regular varsity D.
Yeah, it's cool. I just wanted to jazz it just a little, just freak it a little bit, man. And man, we just proud, man, to bring football, you know, back to Dunbar, where you know, they really proud of it. You know, I still got my oh, this not it. That's one of the jackets, but You know, I got another championship thing from this '07, from my Beacon House days. You know, so I got all my jackets in here together. But you know, it's a red and black, and it's still red and black. You know. But no, it's a great thing, man, to come back to the alma mater, man, and do what we doing. I'm real proud of it. So.
A great group of kids. Had a chance to interview DeQuan.
Man, that's him right there flying over the pile. Ain't that crazy, man? He's an awesome kid, man. Awesome kid. And that's really what changed this program around. We got some good kids. You know, we got, you know, they're aggressive, they fight, and they represent us well.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Zach.
All right, we out.
All right, baby.